Hello and welcome to Dice Masters United. I'm Spug.
I'm Ben.
I'm James.
And I'm Peter.
Coming up in this episode.
Reviews!
We're pushing ahead with our quest to assess all the cards in the Secret Wars set with a look at the uncommons.
And it's Christmas for rules lawyers. WizKids has released a 44-page comprehensive Dice Masters rulebook. James has been reading it, so you don't have to.
All that and more in the latest episode of Dice Masters United.
Welcome back, everyone. We are with you again, and we're a bit like buses in a way. You kind of wait for weeks, and then two turn up in quick succession. We're pushing ahead with our review of the Secret Wars set. We did the commons. Well, actually, just a couple of days ago, wasn't it, almost? And now we are flying on to the uncommons, striking while the iron is hot. It means that there hasn't been much has happened between when we last recorded and when we recorded now, but we've got plenty to talk about in the form of uncommons because there are lots here to talk about. Are we excited? Are they going to be good? Are they going to be better than the commons? Who says yes?
Green is the best colour, so let's hope so.
Yeah. Let's go.
Good. All right. Well, we'll get straight into it without any additional fanfare. And James, why don't you start this time by bringing us...
I wasn't quite ready for that.
Well, I didn't want to do the same order as last time because otherwise you'd end up talking about the same characters once more. So
I've got it. It's Agent Brand, Hell Rangers, 3-cost fist. While Agent Brand is active, your characters gain fast. Or if you prefer, fast.
I do prefer fast, but yes, go ahead.
And she's got...
Is this good?
021, hang on, with the stats, 022, 132 stat line. It's interesting. Definitely interesting in draft. Could be fun, could be annoying. Somebody will make something fun from it, but it won't be me.
What does fast do, just in case anybody hasn't seen this ability before?
It delivers its attack, its combat damage before any non-fast characters. So if you have a non-fast defender and it has its defense is less than the fast character's attack, it'll get knocked out before it gets a chance. The defender will be knocked out before it gets a chance to do the combat damage back.
Yes.
Which is good.
Yes, I think it might have been an idea they borrowed from Magic, potentially, wasn't it? I think, Peter, haven't they got something similar in...
Yeah, and Magic, First Strike, which is similar to this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But this seems pretty good, right, Peter? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Back in the day, we had the Bob agent of Hydra that would give all of your Deadpool characters fast.
Mm.
And that was pretty good already. Yeah. And this gives all of your characters fast, and it's a great way to stop Overcrush, for example, because if you KO the Overcrusher before it gets to deal its damage, there won't be any Overcrush damage.
That's a nice point. Yeah.
One thing I really like about this is it's defensive as well as aggressive, right? It could have easily written while Agent Brand is active, your attacking characters gain fast, which would have made it substantially worse. Having both is really good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. No, it's cool. Yeah, and I think and she's only cheap, obviously, which is good. She's not too difficult to get out. I mean, you imagine that with something horrific like a blimmin' master mold spitting out tokens left, right, and centre, it could be absolutely horrendous. Because I mean,
the only thing is, I guess, you kind of want a second attack step, right? So there was the old Captain Marvel that gave you 2 attack steps, which would be very good with this. And there's another card that does that currently, which is very limited, right?
Yeah. But as you say, your tokens will gain fast even when they're defending. So,
but if you're playing Master Mold, are you going to make a pit stop to buy this?
No,
unless your opponent happens also to be playing Master Mold.
No, but 3-cost fist is not the out of the realms of a first turn purchase. I mean, if you're, if you're playing a Master Mold team, you win on whatever turn it is.
I think it could be for the mirror match, for example, in
maybe
very strong matchups.
Yeah.
Are we good with something like the Monsieur Mala that blocks 2 characters? Because one of the problems with that is if you're blocking 2 characters, Monsieur Malad generally gets KO'd as well. But if you can block 2 characters, KO one of them with fast before the other one, before they both deal damage.
Yeah, things like that.
That's kind of good. Yeah.
Should we move on, Ben, to Apocalypse?
We shall. Evil. 5-cost bolt. 135, 256, 267.
Well done for doing it the right way around.
I practiced. I held my iPad upside down so I could read it.
That's how you do it.
While your life total is higher than your opponent's, Apocalypse gets +2 attack.
Yes, that comma is very important, isn't it? There,
it is, and it's very strangely spaced.
While your life total is higher than your opponent's Apocalypse.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
Opponent's Apocalypse gets +2 attack. So it becomes a 5/5 7/6 8/7, which is not bad for a 5-cost, but it's not brilliant. A bit limited.
Yeah, it's a win more card.
Yeah.
You could just get Phoenix for Cyclops for 5-cost bolts, I think.
And it's got better stats straight up and a better ability.
Yeah, exactly. I like this. Like I like the abilities where your life total is higher than your opponent's, or if your life total is lower, those abilities are kind of fun to mess around with.
Yeah.
But this one, no.
Not very competitive. Peter, moves on to Beast then.
Yes. We have Beast, Genius, Intellect. He's a 3-cost fist character with the X-Men and Infinity
Watch.
Yes. Affiliations is 021, 122, 132 stat line. And he has, while Beast is active, when you feel the fist character die, choose 1, deal 2 damage to target character die, or target character die gets +2 attack. So I like that because, sometimes you won't have another die to give +2 attack to or whatever, or it doesn't help you on that turn, and then you can deal 2 damage to something. So I like the flexibility on this. It's cheap. There are some other pretty decent cheap fist characters. So yeah, could be good.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice that it keys off any other fist characters, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which you can, it gives you a decent amount of flexibility for other cheapy fists that you might be playing. Sorry, but James, were you about to say something then?
Oh, I was going to say Rolling Thunder sport this, and they did a little article. I suspect they probably talked about it on the pod too. So certainly in the article, they suggested some cards that you could play with it. So go and check that out.
But it's good that because they generally shied away since Lantern Ring, I guess, with cards that energy specific teams as opposed to affiliation specific teams. That doesn't mean so much like I'll build a all mask team and an all fist team. Yeah. Whereas this leads to that, which is exciting. I think that needs to come back into Dice Masters a bit more.
Yeah.
Unless you put it on your team and then forget to put any other.
Characters.
I don't know who would do that.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone.
At least he'll trigger off himself.
He would.
Yeah. Even with the Spider-Man, the 2-cost Spider-Man that's like a 033, 144, 155, it's nice just because you can take something out when you field your Spidey. And
there's a Corvus Glaive that I thought about.
Oh, yeah.
Corvus Glaive is a fist that self-KOs and you're going to be fielding a bunch. So do that is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is, yeah. A nice bit of removal on the other side, maybe making the issue of you removing your own field presence every time you field a Corvus Glaive less of an issue if you can take something out on the other side as well.
Yep.
Shall we talk about Black Panther, James?
Yes, Black Panther. It's not Gauntlet Welder, but I did read that later. Gauntlet Wielder, 5-cost mask, Fantastic Four and Infinity Watch affiliations. Has Energize. Your Fantastic Four character dice get +2 attack this turn, and while Black Panther is active, your character dice get +1 attack while attacking. Not that keen on that one. I think all of the other Black Panthers are better than that. I don't know. I'm not going to pay 5 for something that only happens while they're attacking. You can pay 4 for a Captain, whatever her name is, and she does +1 all the time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
No. Captain Marvel, indeed. No. I don't know.
Yes, quite possibly the weakest of the Black Panthers in this particular set, because there are some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's not dally on him, shall we? And move straight on to Black Swan, Ben.
Black Swan, Defending Castle Doom. It's a 4-cost bolt. 144, 155, 166. Great stats. While Black Swan is active, you may KO her to prevent combat damage dealt to one of your shield character dice this turn. This is kind of an interesting thing. Again, she works off of shields like her common did.
Yes.
This one has potential. Definitely a way to deal with Overcrush that's very hard for your opponent to stop, which is nice. But then you have to have the right shield character, I suppose.
Yeah.
I like her. Do you want to sacrifice these stats to protect yourself? I'm sure in some instances, with Jerry Lawler not around anymore, probably less important, but still nice.
Yeah.
Is there a particular shield character you would want to save?
Protect.
Master Mold doesn't really mind being KO'd that much.
No, quite the reverse.
Well, the other thing is,
he revels in it.
If you want to protect that shield character anyway, you could just block with this instead. Do you know what I mean? Why are you blocking with that shield character?
Yeah.
Because combat damage it's not like it would be better if it was while Black Swan is active, you may KO her to prevent a shield character from being KO'd. So that cover a multitude of things.
There's plenty of pingy stuff around. Yeah.
It's definitely just to deal with Overcrush, really. Is the only thing basically that it deals with. But then what character has big enough stats that they couldn't deal with? You couldn't deal with by blocking with this Black Swan and another character.
I think that's a thing with Overcrush these days. In the absence of Jerry Lawler,
Without doubling,
there's so many stats on the board these days that Overcrush is becoming less of a worry.
Yeah, without doubling, it's not so powerful.
Yeah. Okay, Peter, can you bring us Captain Britain, please?
Yes, Captain Britain Quantum Reality Manipulation. He's a 5-cost mask character, no affiliation. He has 133, 145, 277 stats, and reads, while Captain Britain is active, at the end of your opponent's roll and reroll step, you may reroll a die in your reserve pool. That's interesting. And I'm not sure if it's worth a 5-cost, but there's can get you an extra energized trigger, I suppose.
Maybe.
But, if that's all you get, I don't know why you would pay 5 for this.
No way.
Yeah, it seems kind of janky.
Apart from energize, what can that bring you? If it brings you a character that's useless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's not your turn, so you can't field it. What else? Okay, you can go from 1 energy to 2 energy.
Yeah. At best.
What am I missing? Sometimes
I don't know.
No, don't get that one.
What about if you had an action die on energy?
No, you can't use it on your opponent's turn.
You can't use it at all?
No.
Okay.
It would go, presumably it wouldn't be allowed to be there, so it would go to use. That would
So it
Let me just reroll this. Okay, I'll just move it to used.
So I suppose it would only be if you'd kept some energy that you didn't want that particular type of energy, and you'd hope you might roll the actual energy that you want.
Yes.
Which is pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
No.
Not
no
helpful.
One's ever going to buy that.
No.
Next.
I don't think so. James, Captain Marvel then.
Captain Marvel, the Last Avenger, 5-cost shield. With the Avengers affiliation, when fielded, roll 2 dice from your used pile, and she has, beefy stats and terrible fielding. Well, it's another 5-cost. I prefer the ability to the previous one, very much so. Might take it in draft. I wouldn't play it, generally speaking. I think it's interesting that it's from the used pile, so you could get characters, but I would miss them. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I think I'd generally rather prep than just have one go at rolling them from the used pile. But it certainly could be a nasty surprise, couldn't it?
Yeah.
It could actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
Yeah.
I do very much prefer rolling from your use pile than rolling from your bag, because then you won't be drawing something that you need and rolling it on the wrong face.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which often happens with the roll from your bag abilities, to me at least.
Yeah. And I suppose at the least, even if she does cost 2 to field, and then even if you just roll a couple of sidekicks, you're potentially getting back the energy that you've spent.
Yeah.
So it makes her, I guess, effectively cost neutral. Exactly, yeah.
She gets some stats on the board for free.
She washes her own face. Yeah.
Yes, so
exactly.
not very good.
Okay, well, Ben, now it's time for Colossus.
Okay, so I like this Colossus. Colossus wielding the Soul Sword. 4-cost fist, 144, 165, 277. Has Energize, reroll target character die, and had Deadly.
Deadly, yes.
Yeah.
Now, what do you like about this?
Well, it depends, I suppose. It says reroll target character die. Character dice, when are they character dice?
When they're on a character face.
Okay, never mind then.
In the reserve pool or field.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Or when they're in an unrolled state, but in which case you wouldn't be able to target them.
Exactly.
Okay, so never mind then.
It's kind of useless. Isn't this probably? Well, no, it's not.
No,
useless, is it?
because you can reroll your
If you wanted to get something out of your field,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, you can
Yeah,
also
or
choose your opponents.
It's
Yeah.
removal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
One to pair
And
with Captain Britain. That was a
Suppose.
joke. by the way.
yeah, that's true. You get 2 energized triggers. That wouldn't be too bad,
As
would
your
it?
last 2 picks on the draft.
Colossus and Captain.
Good stats for
Captain
4
Britain.
costs.
No,
Yeah, it's a good
he's
stats
got-
for a 4-cost.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
Deadly.
It's 4.
That's always good.
It is.
Yeah, this is much better than Captain Britain. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 4, not 5, which is the world of difference. His stats are better.
I feel like-
he's got an additional ability.
Much like other Colossi of the past, this will be passed around a few times around the table before being taken.
Do you think? Yeah.
I
mean,
would
guess
take it
depends
for
on.
the first 4 picks, I guess.
We are in a world of big stats, so
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Corvus Glaive came up smelling of roses last time. What's he like this time, Peter?
Doesn't smell quite as good, I'm afraid. This is Virtual Immortality 3-cost fist with the usual 021, 131, 031 stats, the villain affiliation, and regenerate.
That is it.
That is it.
Yeah, that's pretty underwhelming.
Indeed.
Well, there's not much to say about him, is there? Really?
No.
We've seen
Let's
characters that just have regenerate, so let's not waste any time. And James, let's move straight on to Dazzler.
Dazzler, Mojoverse Rebel, 3-cost bolt with the X-Men and Spider-Friend affiliations. When fielded, deal 4 damage to target character die that has no team affiliation. And Jubilee stats except on the top level where the attack and defense are switched. So 021, 133, 234. I like Spider Friends because of something that we talked about last time. We don't need to go there again. I don't know. I don't know how many unaffiliated characters are there in this set. I'm
Fair number.
scrolling down. Not that many uncommons, as it turns out. So,
Yeah. But in the comments, there were a fair number.
yeah, okay.
So in this
Could
set,
be useful.
I think I definitely in draft it'll be useful. Outside of that, probably not so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Unless
mean,
something crops up which is specifically unaffiliated.
Yeah, and it doesn't even kill, Sentinel tokens.
No,
that's what I
No.
was going to say. Yeah,
It's
like
a shame, isn't it?
it's kind of frustrating, isn't it? That it isn't 5 damage because obviously those would be unaffiliated. They don't have any. They don't have any icons. or
Though
anything.
honestly, if you're fighting Master Mold with Dazzlers, then
Yeah, that's true.
the very best of luck to you.
Yeah, that's true. She's only going to
I'm
get
just
rid of
going
one.
to throw Dazzler at them.
Yeah.
See what happens.
There are 38 character cards without an affiliation in this.
Are
set.
there?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's-
Not bad, not
That's-
nothing.
what's that, a quarter or something?
A lot of them have over 5 stats and everything but level 1.
Okay.
Less useful.
Never mind.
Yeah, if it had
Yeah.
5, it would be good just specifically for those tokens, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I definitely see a case where you'd bring this along as removal for that.
Yeah. But you're still going to get outpaced probably, but it might save you a bit of time.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do something else. Okay, well, Dazzler, not quite as dazzling as we would hope.
It's a shame because her dice are so nice as well.
They do look good, yeah,
Really good.
because they're translucent, aren't they? They are really cool. Ben, it's your turn, and we're on to Falcon.
Wings from Black Panther, 3 cost fist, 022-133-143. Has the same global as common, which is the old white tiger global where you pay a fist and you can field a sidekick, and your opponent must field a sidekick from their use pile if able, which is very useful. This one has recruit, sidekicks, and recruit is a dumb keyword that isn't very good.
It's one that we always struggle to remember actually what it does. So shall I just refresh everyone's memory?
I can tell you it's attack, do nothing because they block you with a sidekick.
Well, there is that. But the actual definition is when a character die with a recruit keyword damages an opponent with combat damage, you may move a die that matches what is listed in the ability from your use pile, reserve pool, or prep area into the field zone on its level 1 character face. So in this case, if he damages your opponent with combat damage, then you can field a sidekick from pretty much anywhere.
So
What
if he
do you
goes
do?
unblocked, then you get to replace his field presence with a sidekick, which is not
very
bad,
much.
but it's not great either.
No. So let's route straight on, shall we, Peter, to Franklin's Galactus.
Global's still good though, sorry. Global.
Yeah,
Global
Global
is good.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
We will
Refer
come
to
to that
last-
during the rares, I think. Very much so.
And refer to last week's episode, I think, when we also spoke about it. But we moved on to the four-sided guy, Peter.
Yes, Franklin's Galactus, no mercy. Cobra Kai. He is a 7-cost shield character. He has the 033, 255, 258, 310 stats. He's a villain, and he costs 1 less to purchase for each die in your prep area. Yes, so this would be pretty cool as a backup plan in an orbital strike team, I would say.
That's where you go. That's where you go first, of course.
That's where I always go. So, if you have a terrible orbital strike and you KO all of your dice, you get to buy a whole bunch of Franklin's Galactuses for nothing.
But you've
Other
already
than
lost
that,
the game
I think
by
it's
that point.
yeah, probably. But I think it's fairly tricky to discount him a lot because you need to get something in your prep area on your turn before your attack step.
Corvus Glaive,
Yeah,
for example.
But Corvus Glaive or Dark Phoenix Global both work brilliantly with that. I mean, if you KO something with the Dark Phoenix Global, not only do you get the 2 discount, you also get another discount.
yeah. So
from
that's a 3
having a die
discount.
in your thing. So 3 discount, yeah, which is
So 1
And then if you
Corvus
KO
Glaive
another-
and 1 Dark Phoenix, so he costs 1 plus the
Exactly.
you pay for.
Yeah,
yeah.
So
I'd say that's pretty good value.
I think that's pretty decent. Yeah, fair.
I think I
Yeah.
made a video with this, I suspect. Yes, I'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah. Then what are you getting? Like,
Stats.
Massive
stats
stats.
on 1 level are
A
decent.
die with 4 character faces, which
Yeah.
belongs to some Galactus or other. That enough in itself,
which would
isn't
have been good with orbital strike, but
Oh wow, yeah.
On that one face. It's just crap on every other face.
just imagine rolling 2
Ah,
Franklin's
spin up
Galactuses
exists.
on his 10-10
No.
face with orbital strike. And
Yeah, that's
winning.
pretty funny. That's the dream, but yeah.
That's the dream. Gotta make it happen one day.
I mean, he's all right in one of those. He's also kind of useful in that one. What's that Burning Hands one or whatever it is? When you draw a die from your bag and you do
Itchy
damage to your
palms.
opponent.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? What's it called?
Eldritch Blast.
That's
Yeah,
the
or
one.
the
There's another one.
Storm, the Phoenix Force. So
Storm,
what's it? It's the What If Storm, right?
Yeah.
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 So they do the same thing, right? There's,
Yeah.
pick
Yeah.
a
So you
die
got-
out of your bag or something.
Yeah, and you got 7 damage, and you can fairly easily manipulate.
Yeah, I can
That.
see that. Yeah.
But you got to do it 3 times in order to win, of course.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
10 cost, is it?
It's not 10,
Yeah.
no, which makes a big difference.
True.
We should perhaps say that they do the cost in direct damage to your opponent if you draw it.
Yeah.
Thank you, James. Yes, you are right.
Something like
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. Just a shame, isn't it, Peter, that Orbital Strike is no longer modern legal?
It might come back. You never know.
Could
Another
be.
fun one to bring back. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is fun. Okay, well, shall we move on, James, to God Emperor Doom?
Singular Floor. a 2 cost. Get that?
I know.
2 cost shield.
Yes.
Max dice 2. If God Emperor Doom is blocked by 4 or more character dice, return the blocked die to its card. And he's got, okay. These would be great.
Okay
stats, but in this set, they're just okay, really.
No, but
1,
for a 2
3,
cost.
5.
Yeah, even
2,
for
5,
a 2
6,
cost.
2, 6, 7. Even for a 2 cost, because I don't know what's the best stats on a 2 cost aside from that, because it's pretty good, no doubt.
I mean, the Spider-Man has a better home edge value. This has a 2.9, which is pretty good. I'll give you that.
Oh, because he's cheaper to field.
Yeah, because he's expensive to field. If he's cheaper to field, he would. God Emperor Doom would be pretty good. But with
I'm just going to say one word to you, Robin.
Yeah, there's that.
Man.
There's that, but still.
He's great.
Spider-Man is free to field on one of his faces.
In draft, you can have you don't have to stick to the max 2 dice.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Did you actually play this in your draft the other day? Because the video's just gone out, so check out the team building video. But I haven't actually watched the.
You'll have to watch the video to find out, James.
Oh right, okay. Be like that.
It is.
It's a good one in theory to throw at your opponent. I wish it wasn't max 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if this just
in constructed, I can't see it making much of a splash.
No.
If we were in a different world of lower stats, maybe, but not so much.
The max 2 does really hamper it, though, because you generally don't want your 2 cost to be a max 2, do you? Unless it's doing something extraordinary at that price.
Yeah, that's not really.
And this isn't particularly.
I don't think the sort of negative ability, the having to return it to its cards, if it's blocked by 4 or more character dice, I'm not. That's not much of a detriment to my mind. I think that's
no. Yeah. How often is that really going to happen? And if it was like a 5 cost or something, then that would really hurt, wouldn't it? Because it's really expensive to buy. But if it's only cost 2, just buy another one.
Yeah. Was it ruled to not do its damage if that's the case?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. So as soon as it's blocked, it goes away.
Yeah.
What if it has fast though? Okay.
No.
It doesn't even get there. It's not quick enough still. So right, let's go on to Goddess of Thunder. We did mention her before.
We did.
Ben, it's your turn.
Stormborn, 4 cost mask. 021 122 132. Okay, when fielded, reroll X target character dice, where X is equal to the number of active Thor core characters in your field zone. This is okay. Bit of removal. Could be more removal than a bit. Can you build a team around it? Possibly. I would think I would like it paired with the common version of this.
Yeah, exactly.
As removal. Yeah, it's not bad for a 4 cost. Repeatable because it has quite low stats. So decent, not brilliant.
4 cost though, 4 cost Storm. I'm expecting it to reroll the opponent's entire field when they attack.
Yeah, that's the problem nowadays. That's kind of what you expect. But this could theoretically do that. Just you need a lot of setup for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Again, it depends on how good Thor core are as a unit. I'd suppose they're not great.
I'm not convinced currently.
Are we getting more cheap Thor cores?
Well, I mean, what are there at the moment? I mean, she is obviously the other version. Another version of her is a 2. That doesn't count. There's a 3 cost Groot, isn't there? That we'll talk about. Well, very soon.
20 seconds.
Yeah. There's the Horseface Stormbreaker dude.
I think there's just the 2 and the 3, and then everything else is 4 and more, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't rate Thor core. So I stand to be corrected.
It's a bit like the old Immortals, isn't it, from the Mighty Thor set, where everything that you wanted to do was like really expensive. So it just became a bit of a novelty rather than anything particularly competitive. So yes, I think it's fair to say, Ben, that it's not a spoiler to say there are other versions of this character that are stronger. And with that, Peter, shall we move on to Groot?
Yes, the previously mentioned Groot, Bark, and Fight 3 cost shield with the Thor core affiliation 012 126 237, and when fielded, target character die can't block this turn. That's a pretty decent ability, although usually your opponent will have more characters to block with. But if there's one particularly annoying thing that you don't want to block your stuff, then this is useful.
Yeah.
It's very hard to repeat, though, with his stats, because, the 6 and 7 defense on his level 2 and 3 are fairly high. So, but, there's Dark Phoenix Global, I suppose.
It's okay. Let's move on.
James, it's over to you.
Invisible Woman, Overcoming Malice. 2-cost mask with the Fantastic Four affiliation. When blocking, Invisible Woman deals damage equal to her defense. And she has, this is relevant, 012, 023, 025. That's pretty good.
Yes.
For a 2-cost mask, I would, that definitely add that to the pool of potential 2-cost masks you might want to choose from. So she would, if she was on a top level, she would take out quite a bunch of things, right?
Yep.
She would. She'd even take out tokens. She'd even take out Master Mold tokens, James.
Exactly.
The Holy Grail. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's my favourite so far. For a 2-cost, that's a great ability for a 2-cost. And the fact that she's got decent defense as well.
Yeah.
Even on a bottom level is 2, 2, 3, 5. And I'm sure there's a defense pump somewhere in this set. I feel pretty sure. Pay a shield.
There is.
+1 defense. And that would work, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Agent Brand, well, we talked about Agent Brand, didn't we, last time around? The common, I think, gives everything +1 defense.
Yeah.
Yep, so thumbs up for Invisible Woman. She's a good one. And she's got a great die as well. I really like her die. It's really cool. The fact that it's just basically she has no symbol or anything. It's just completely opaque. Translucent, sorry. Kind of dice, which is excellent. Jane Foster, it's your turn, Ben.
Yeah, Jane Foster Valkyrie, 4-cost shield. 145, 256, 368 Thor core. When fielded, deal 2 damage to target character die. If that character die has a purchase cost of 4 or more, deal it 5 damage instead. Not enough damage output, probably. We already talked about this with Dazzler. 5 is a good number. I guess maybe 5's the new 3. Remember when 3 damage was like the big thing?
Yeah.
Maybe 5 damage is now the big thing.
Yeah.
But Master Mold tokens don't have a purchase cost of 4 or more.
No, they don't. And a lot of stuff that does has got bigger stats, hasn't it, these days?
Yeah.
So
There are better, more repeatable, more effective way of doing this.
Yeah.
She's not the best Jane Foster, is she? Let's move on.
No, and you don't really, and let's face it, who wants their when fielded to cost 3 to get into the field? Not
Indeed.
me, thank you. Okay, Jimmy Woo, Peter.
Woo!
Okay, Jimmy Woo, Skilled Interrogator, a 3-cost bolt character with the Shield affiliation. He has a 012, a 022, and 124 stats. And while Jimmy Woo is active, when you use an action die, spin target opposing character die down 1 level, or spin target level 1 character die to an energy phase.
So
That is pretty decent, I'd say. I don't know if there's enough support with action dice that you can use a lot. I suppose Shocking Grasp is coming back, right?
Shocking Grasp's the answer to everything, isn't it?
it is, yeah.
So
a cheap, repeatable die that everybody
that would be
needs.
pretty good. You could use Shocking Grasp and KO one of your opponent's sidekicks and then spin down another, for example, which is pretty good.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Is there a mass spin down? Is there a spin down basic action anymore? There used to be a few where you could spin your opponent's stuff to level 1.
Yeah. I don't think there is.
I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Not that I know of, no.
What was the one that people use with Godcatcher to make it level 1 this turn and unblockable?
Oh, Under Surveillance.
Does that work with this? Could you use it on your opponent's stuff to make it a level 1 character and then spin out?
I suppose,
No, it's not. It doesn't actually make it level 1.
It doesn't
makes
actually make it level 1.
as if it's level 1, I think.
I don't know. It's technically treated as a level 1, right?
It's considered to be
As
a level 1.
That doesn't make it level 1. Does it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not? If you
It doesn't
consider
say
it level
spin
1.
it down to level 1. You just
No,
consider
but
it.
it's considered to be level 1, so you could. It could be.
It's not a combo that's modern legal, so it doesn't matter really, but it's kind of funny.
No, I think you would just spin, literally, personally, I think you would spin it down a level and still consider it level 1.
I don't know.
Yes.
That's just one for the rules forum.
Oh, there's focus. There's the basic action focus.
Oh, is that still in?
Which is from Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which on the double burst side, spin all character dice up or down 1 level.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of fun. Yeah, because it's fun. It'd be funny to... I'm spinning you to level 1 and now you're spinning out by.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
3 cost, I think maybe a bit too much for it.
For
Maybe
2.
I mean, 3 is not
Yeah.
a lot, but...
2-cost bolt would be nice, wouldn't it? Because there's some good 2-cost dice out there, like Ball, we just talked about.
I suppose that's partly considering he does basically nothing on his own. You've got to pair him with an action die to make him worthwhile, haven't you?
Yeah, but I mean, action dice might see a resurgence. They're not particularly prevalent now. They might be.
Not really. Okay, James, we're back to you again, and we're on to Kang.
Kang, Hellranger. We had one of those, didn't we? 3-cost mask.
Rusty previous.
Right. While Kang is active at the beginning of your opponent's attack step, you may KO target sidekick. Wow, that's an underwhelming ability,
isn't it?
I was expecting something a bit more interesting. Yeah,
so this is the guy who's being kind of beefed up to be the big bad for the next phase of the MCU. And what does he do? He KOs a sidekick.
They make a wormhole in space and channel enormous quantities of energy through that wormhole in order to knock out a sidekick. No. Can we just go on?
And your opponent can even skip their attack step to not allow you to KO a sidekick.
Yeah.
His other things have something to do with sort of, I don't know, re-rolling or something? Like there's some sort of time manipulation kind of theme to it. But what's that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
You know what made this card sick? If we just said, while Kang is active at the beginning of your opponent's attack step, you may carry target level 1 character.
That would definitely be better.
So good. If that's what's the case. But
that would definitely be better. But it's not. So let's rapidly move on, Ben, shall we, to King Hyperion.
Some more sibilants coming your way after the intro. King Hyperion, Squadron Sinister. 4-cost shield. Like I don't have a lisp or anything. 144-255-266. King Hyperion gets +1 attack and +1 defense for each different energy type you have in your reserve pool. Good global. Shield target attacking character goes to the used part if KO'd this turn.
Yeah, that's irritating, isn't it? That.
I'll bring up a rules quandary in a minute, but it's pretty good. You can make it pretty bulky, fairly easily. You want globals in your reserve pool. Energy in your reserve pool for globals. So decent for that. It's a shame you can't do the thing you used to do where you used to be able to save energy for pumping, and you got those stats because it would diminish if you pumped him up, right?
Oh yeah.
So it wouldn't quite work that well. But it's interesting. Yeah, if you have stuff that you want to save back for doing stuff on your opponent's turn, this is a good one. For 4 cost, you can make him probably at least +2, +1, times +2, pretty easily.
Yeah. Wasn't there a Grodd or something like that who had?
It was a Clayface.
Clayface, that was it. Sorry.
One of each energy in your reserve pool. Clayface gets +5, and Overcrush.
Yes, that's right. So everybody used it for the global, but it's actually
that was a 6-cost, and it was a good backup, wasn't it? If this got Overcrush, I would enjoy that much more. I don't know. Yes, you could get him up to on his top level 288, on his bottom level 166, but then there are so many stats floating around that
there are.
you
can get him a bit bigger than the average character. What would happen if you use this? Global's really good though as a defensive piece. If you're playing like a control team.
Yeah.
What happens if you use this global and you attack with God Emperor Doom?
Right.
So God Emperor Doom gets blocked by 4 characters.
He goes back to your card.
Bag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not clear. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
No.
but this global is pretty good if you have the agent brand that gives all of your stuff fast.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Or that invisible woman, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
if you're playing a defensive
with
team like that,
invisible woman.
it's really good.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, Peter, let's move us on to Madeline Pryor.
Yes, Madeline Pryor Hexman is a 3-cost mask character. She has 013, 014, and 124 stats, and she reads originally, when fielded, place a +1 attack and +1 defense counter on the character die on your team with the least counters
Fewest.
on it. Yes, Stannis. In case of a tie, you choose. So that has been errata to read the character card on your team with the least
Fewest.
counters.
But just to spite Spug, they've left least.
Yeah.
They have not corrected the grammar. They've just corrected the game logic. Okay.
Indeed. And it also has a global, pay a mask and 1 life. Once per turn, field a sidekick from your use pile.
Yes, which is an interesting bit of cost inflation, isn't it? I mean, we've obviously had the collector global for ages and others like that. Pay a mask, field a sidekick die from your use pile. Now you've got to pay a life as well.
I think
What do
that
you make of
global's fine. I think I played it with Jason the other day, or he had it and I used it, and I think that's fair because fielding psychics is, given the number of things that trigger off fielding psychics and the innate benefit of sort of thinning your bag and use bar.
Yes.
It's not an unfair price to pay, I think, and it makes you think a little bit, which is a good thing, probably.
Yes. I mean, compared with Mr. Sinister, it's extremely expensive when you just pay a generic 2 to prep a die and field a sidekick.
Yeah.
And you can do it as many times as you want, and you can do it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, you might not want to give that
competition.
to your opponent.
Exactly.
So
So this
it's quite a good thing.
Collector global is also around still as well.
Yes.
Yes, for now it is.
For now.
Yes, of course, yeah.
The tokens themselves, so being able to place tokens, don't count as loyalty counters, do they? They're counters, but they're not loyalty counters.
exactly. They
So
do
it
the same
doesn't-
thing, but they're also not experience counters. But they do the same thing.
Okay, but so it doesn't trigger stuff like the action from Dark Phoenix Saga.
Nope.
No.
Yes. I know the one you mean.
Living
Ben.
the Dream.
Living the dream, yes.
Okay. It's still pretty good. Counters are decent. This is I like Madeline Pryor's stats. She's cheap to field.
Yeah, she is.
Good defensive piece.
Yeah.
Wish it wasn't so defensive for the when fielded effect, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. How much use are you actually going to get out of this? How many? You're going to get a total of +3, maybe.
Yeah,
But you're not, because you have to
Never
always
spread
put
it
it on the
off.
lowest one, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. You'd
you'd
have
have
to
Not on,
upgrade
and,
your
not
whole
on a
team.
single character, spread out across the team, and you could get that by paying 4 for Captain Marvel. I'm not a fanboy of Captain Marvel, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
she costs 1 more, and
for this,
gets you
And
much
she also
better.
buffs your sidekicks.
Yeah.
Yes.
For this to be better than Captain Marvel, you'd have to field her 9 times. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
can buy
right,
multiple of them,
And
I
then it's
suppose.
still questionable.
Yeah.
Could buy
If you
multiple
could
of
just choose, any character, then that would
Then
be,
it would be more
them.
interesting.
Really good. Yeah.
yeah. But the fact that you have to basically put one on all of them before you can go back to the one
Okay,
you
you
chose
convinced
first.
me. It's probably one that sounds better on paper than actually.
All right. Well, with that job done, we'll move on, shall we, to Magic. And James, it's your go.
Magic Dark Child 4-cost mask. When fielded, deal 2 damage to all opposing character dice, and it has the same global we just mentioned, but it's a bolt instead of a mask. Actually, it was this one that maybe I was playing. I can't remember. This is great. Jason played this in. Once you play with some of these cards, I wouldn't have noticed this, but dealing 2 damage across the board.
Yeah.
And this is in a set which has lots of other forms of removal, and he was playing it all on one bloody team. It was merciless. Good lord. And it's not got great KO'able stats, but it's got fantastic fielding costs, and there is Dark Phoenix. It's just really good. Dealing 2 damage across the board, extremely good in draft, and I think this could see some use. I mean, it's 4, okay, but it's scary, frankly, when you know you're going to lose all your sidekicks and maybe a couple of other things as well. Repeating.
Yeah, and he hits pretty hard, doesn't he? I mean, he's a 4 attack on his highest level, which obviously, by the modern standards is not massive, but the fact that it's combined with that ability.
That is a she,
No.
to be clear, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, she, yeah.
Yeah, I like the update of the magic stats. Yeah, and this ability is good.
Yeah. It's good, really good.
Yeah.
And it's not just losing your field, but also, if you're me, you're not going to roll those psychic dice back to characters the next turn. So you're just polluting your bag with a bunch of psychics as well. It's powerful.
Yeah, it's just a shame that we don't have the Seething Corruption action die anymore. The one that came from Warhammer, was it, I think? Where basically if something was damaged this turn, it would get KO'd. So basically Magic would give you a total board wipe, which would be
brutal.
Pretty handy. Yeah, pretty good. But yeah, she seems to be a good one. Okay, Mr. Sinister is up next, and Ben, it's over to you.
Battle World, full cost Bolt, villain affiliation. When Mr. Sinister is KO'd, you may KO an opposing character die of cost 4 or less. Your global pay a Bolt and a Mask. Each player chooses one of their character die to take 3 damage.
Did you say pay a Bolt and a Mask?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you did. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a dash, but it's really
It's really an and.
the global's interesting. Not brilliant, because your opponent chooses which character takes damage, and then we're going to choose what's beneficial to them. And the ability is also maybe interesting, but not really.
You can obviously use if you have an active Mr. Sinister character, though, you can use the global to KO him and then trigger his ability as well.
There's a similar global to what he had with New XM. It's sort of interesting, but doesn't quite work out, that global. And it's very expensive, what it is. Yeah. 2 energy.
For anybody who's been watching The Mandalorian, I think Mr. Sinister has also been going to the Bo-Katan Cruiser school of lounging in a chair. That's kind of how she likes to sit. But anyway, let's move on to Molecule Man. And,
Mr. Sinister did it first, I believe.
I think he probably did, yeah. Bo-Katan's got some catching up to do. Molecule Man, please, Peter.
Molecule Man, Megalomaniac, 3-cost shield character with the villain affiliation 011, 022, 255 stats. He has Deadly, which is always good, but he also has the global. Pay shield, the first character you field this turn is free to field.
It's not just Robin.
No, we have a new Robin in town.
And it's not a super rare.
Yeah,
which cheapskates of the world rejoice. That's what I mean.
That was like a Jimmy, what's his face? Jimmy right? Olsen. Yeah.
Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I prefer this over to Jimmy Olsen for sure, because Deadly is nice.
It is,
yeah. You prefer over the Robin, though?
No. Yeah. But that's a super rare, so... I
like this. Well, Molecule Man stats are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's only
5/5 on his top level. It's all right. You don't want to field it much. But...
No.
I mean, it's a must-have card simply because of the global, isn't it? And it's going to be auto-include in a lot of teams with heavy fielding costs, particularly people who can't stretch to picking up a super rare Robin from the previous set. So he's going to be a popular one. Yes, good old Molecule Man. And he's got some fun to come, hasn't he, later on? James, I can see he's licking his lips. And James, talking of you, it's back to you and Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic, brilliant scientist. Is this a straight reprint from AVX? Because the name is the same, isn't it? It's a 3-cost mask, Fantastic 4 affiliation. Mr. Fantastic gets +2 attack, +2 defense while blocking. And he has, I think they're the regular stats, 115, 226, and it's cut off on my screen, but it's 227.
Yeah.
And it has the global pay a mask, target character die, must attack this turn. All of that sounds very familiar from AVX.
Indeed. That's because it's the same.
So in every respect? Respect?
Yeah.
Also an uncommon?
No, it's from the common.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, he didn't have an uncommon last time. This was
There
just a
were no
common.
uncommons.
Because there were, but he had a super rare that replaced it. So
yeah, that's how it worked.
yeah.
Well, it's not as interesting as his wife, I would say. Two cost mask. I mean, the global obviously is useful, but we have a lot of force attacks already. Even with a mask with Doctor Strange, I think. It's all right. It's
Stat increases while defending are generally not as good.
Definitely not as good as dealing damage equal to your defense.
But generally, not worth their time, particularly.
Go for the Invisible Woman.
If you want the force attack global, it's not a bad choice. So.
No. True. If we had a stat flip,
yes, yes, please bring us a stat flip.
Then yes, please. But until then, maybe no thanks. So let's move on, Ben. Shall we to Namor?
Warring with the Surface, 4-cost shield with Namor's stats, which are good. When fielded, each player draws 3 dice and fields all psychic drawn this way. Each player places the remaining dice in their bag or use pile. Fantastic Four affiliated, which is very useful, and Infinity Gauntlet affiliated, which is less useful.
Infinity Watch, yes.
Infinity Watch, pardon me. I like this. It is Instant War on legs.
Yes.
And it gives you a good character die to go with it. I think it's probably worth the 1 extra on Instant War for the fact that it's a character.
Yeah, definitely.
You can KO it and cycle it back around as many times as you want.
Yeah.
Forcing your opponent to field psychics, as we discussed with Falcon Global, is pretty useful. And I'm sure there's shenanigans to be had with this.
Well, not least with Hellfire Gala, the basic action, eh?
True.
You can get one of him in play. You're suddenly, basically, if your opponent draws sidekicks, you could potentially get 6 sidekicks in the field just like that, couldn't you? Plus him, just 7 characters. And what does Hellfire Gala need to win? Is it 16? 16 characters in the field?
Yeah.
Oh, I've just had a thought about this.
What did you think, James?
Oh, well, spoilers and that. The rare Black Panther was bad enough with the bloody Falcon Global. Oh.
Just for thinning out your bag and stuff.
Oh, no, check out the video. The rare Black Panther, that when your opponent feels anything at all, you get to roll one of their dice.
Oh, yes. Nasty.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
There's
horrific.
They're all separate instances of fielding, right?
Yeah.
There's not one instance in this with Instant War and stuff.
So they would field 3 different characters.
Yeah, that's pretty
so you'd get 3 instances of fielding.
Yeah, do that, then throw a magic out there.
Exactly. Magic wipes out the rest of them. Job done. Bloody hell.
Expensive, but that's fun.
I like it.
He's really good. Yep, you're right, Ben. Instant War on legs and a big thumbs up. Phoenix Force Cyclops, Peter.
Yes, Fire of Love, a 6-cost bolt character. He has the 155, 277, 3, 8, 10 stats and reads, when Phoenix Force Cyclops is dealt combat damage, deal that much damage to target opponent. We have seen this before recently on one of the Dark Phoenixes, I believe it was the rare.
Yes.
This is 1 cheaper though, but it doesn't have the global.
No.
So I think I'd still prefer the Dark Phoenix for this effect, but it is really cool.
Yeah,
especially with the force attacks going around.
Yes.
Maybe a force block.
There are force blocks.
So
we've got a force block back now, haven't we? So we could, if your opponent gets something beefy in the field, a Franklin's Galactus.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
10 damage.
The increase in stats doesn't make any difference, does it? Because it's just
not. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could just swing with it at some point, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the increase in stats does make a difference though, because it means that it makes it harder for your opponent to decide whether they want to block it or not.
Yeah, but it's not that much of a difference, is it, between different Dark Phoenix? Like, you still don't want to block Dark Phoenix particularly.
No, I suppose. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think actually the stats are very similar.
It's not like the 10 defense on Phoenix Force Cyclops.
Yeah,
means that you can take 10 damage from combat, but you couldn't with Dark Phoenix. You can still take that damage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
This is true.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It makes for nice shenanigans. It makes for difficult decisions for your opponent, which is always something that we like to inflict on the people we're playing against.
Yeah.
I think it's all around a good card.
Can I just note that Dark Phoenix, I just looked up and it says she deals that much damage to each opponent as opposed to target opponent.
yeah.
In this not
2
that ever
versus 2.
matters, but you know, if you were playing against more people,
Yeah.
wow,
Everyone.
that's a lot of damage.
That
Insane.
certainly is. Yeah. James, can you bring us Proxima Midnight?
Master Combatant, 3-cost shield. When Proxima Midnight deals combat damage to an opponent, re-roll that die. If it shows a character face, prep that die.
What?
No.
So basically, there's a 50%
really.
chance that if it does combat damage to your opponent, it will end up in your prep instead of your used.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Sure. Okay. It's niche. Yes. Maybe. I wouldn't. I'm not touching it with a barge pole, quite frankly. But so if it gets through, it might not have to go to used. You might end up prepping it. And what do you do with it? You go back to the field.
It goes back to prep. It goes to prep. So you'd re-roll it next turn.
So you get okay. Yeah, no, I don't want it.
This is just a rush card, right? Like, it's just one of those things where
Confusing.
you buy you buy as many of them as you can. You just keep swinging with them as many as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
suppose.
basically
Yeah.
They're not even that cheap, though, are they, with a 3? So
Good stats. I don't hate this. It's not a bad pickup in draft.
So. Let's, Ben, move on to Scarlet Witch, shall we?
Okay, Mystic Arcana, 5-cost bolt. Scarlet Witch stats. While Scarlet Witch is active, when an opponent uses an action die, deal 3 damage to target character die. Interesting. I'm sure there's starting to be a little bit of an action team percolating with this and Jimmy Woo, uncommon shenanigan stuff. 3 damage used to be very good. Not so much anymore.
For dealing with people exactly like Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
you had 3 defense on all sides.
There was a meta where 3 defense was the number to hit to get rid of all the removal.
Shriek.
Yeah,
I think 5 is a lot to pay to put someone off
really
using
is,
your shocking grasp.
Yeah.
No.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Without doubt. It's too expensive. Let's just go on to Sheriff Strange, shall we, Peter?
Yes, Sheriff Strange Last Days, 5-cost mass character with the 033146258 stats. While Sheriff Strange is active, when you use an action die, your character dice get +1 attack this turn. Oof. I mean, it's thematic for the Doctor Strange thing. Cards doing stuff with action dice, but the +1 attack for using an action die, that is not enough to justify the 5-cost.
Yeah,
it's not. But we've mentioned this die a number of times already. But shocking grasp, it's quite nice with this. If you get one or 2 of them, you can remove an opponent's sidekick, and you can give your own sidekicks +1 or even +2 attack.
Pair it with some removal like the Jimmy Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not super fast, obviously, and it's not tournament winning, but it's decent.
Yeah, I suppose.
+1, okay, but +1 attack across the board.
Yeah.
When it goes to your psychics as well, can be very good.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure. I'd rather have a global where I pay 2 fists for that than buying Donald Sutherland, quite frankly.
Okay, well, we stand divided on that one. I like it. James, not so much. Let's go on to Spider-Gwen, and James, it's over to you again.
Spider-Gwen, the Spectacular, 3-cost bolt with a Spider Friends affiliation. When fielded, deal 5 damage. There you go.
This is more like it.
To target character dice. Spider-Gwen dice can't attack the turn that they are fielded. She has great stats. I think no fielding costs, and she's a 2/2, 3/5.
Yeah.
4/6.
I'm waiting for 4/6. Blind.
4/6, yeah.
And she has a global pay a bolt. If target die deals combat damage to your opponent, put it into your bag instead of your use bar. That's the summon skull kind of thing.
Tis.
Yeah.
Underrated.
That's a nice package, that card. It's all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could see somebody getting some use out of that.
for sure. Well, it gets to the magic 5, doesn't it, to potentially deal with.
I mean, it's a lot better than the sparkly,
Dazzler.
what is it?
Dazzler.
Nonsense.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
restrictions and 5 damage.
And
And
on top
no-
level, it
Okay, the restriction is that
survives,
she can't attack. Okay. But,
Yeah.
Top level it survives a Master Mold token as well.
That's true,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's got no fielding costs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah, we like that. Sort of
Very
like that.
good.
Annoying that it can't attack. So-
Yeah, obviously that's
But-
annoying, but it's fair.
This is good paired with Dark Phoenix Global, right? To just cycle
Yeah.
it,
Exactly.
run around.
Mhm.
Exactly.
No fielding for 5 damage. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
I'm on board.
I'll
Yeah.
take
Yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah, I'll
good.
take that. She's very good indeed. Ben, Spider-Man next, please.
Spider Tracers, 3-cost Fist, Avengers, and Spider Friends. Good stat line, like Spider-Man always has. Spider-Man can block an additional character die, which is a ability we've seen a lot. And an ability that is fine, but not brilliant.
No, I mean this is basically this is there's an alternate art version of this card, isn't there, in the Origin pack?
Yeah, that's cool.
That he comes in, which is bizarrely on that it's listed as a common, but it's not. But,
Yeah.
It's a grey stripe.
yeah, but he's pretty cool.
This and Spider-Gwen both, presumably. And are they all uncommon? I think we decided they were, aren't they? So there's also Storm and Groot, presumably. Or Groot, maybe not.
Oh yeah, Bark and Fight, yes. Stormborn,
Yeah, okay, there you go.
yeah, and the Spectacular, yes, of course they are. Yes, they're all uncommons. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Good shout, James. Indeed, yeah. So Spider-Man solid without being, well, to use a maybe slightly cliched term when it comes to Spider-Man, spectacular. Should we move on to Star-Lord and Peter? You'll go.
Right, Star-Lord Space Epic 4-cost Fist character. The Guardians affiliation 124233 255 stats. And he has Team Watch. Target character die gets +2 attack. So Team Watch means if you field another character that shares an affiliation with this one, it triggers.
What are you sniggering
Guess how
about?
many Guardians there are in this?
That's why I'm literally just looking up.
It's just Star-Lord.
Yeah.
So, spoiler: don't take it in draft.
It's not.
Is that
I mean, if you field another Star Lord, it'll work. But it's not great. And I do we have other Guardians in modern legal sets, I suppose.
Yeah, we certainly do. Yeah, we certainly do. I mean, obviously, Infinity Gauntlet brought Guardians.
And you can gift affiliations, so it might be useful outside of draft. In fairness,
Yes.
But,
There's 6 other characters outside of the Guardian characters. They're all 4 or 5 cost. Apart from Rocket, Raccoon might be good.
but you could use.
You could give him the X-Men affiliation or the
Yeah,
brothers.
Field a 2-cost max.
That
for
is
3.
tricky.
That would be-
Yeah, not very good.
No.
Let's go on to James and Stormbreaker Ray.
oh god, not the horse. Stormbreaker Ray, 4/4, 5-cost shield with the Thor core affiliation. Energize, deal 2 damage to target character die. And when fielded, KO target mask character die. Yes, that's very specific.
That's very
specific. No, I'll take Spider-Gwen. Thanks very much.
Yes, for 2 cheaper and no obvious limitations or fielding costs.
I will say that this is a card with Thor in its name.
It is. Yes.
That's true.
That's true.
Storm.
The Storm common
Storm.
that gets a +5.
Yes.
Yes, attack.
You
when
could,
there's a
but you wouldn't.
Thor.
He could.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, indeed. Let's just go on to Terex, shall we, Ben?
Herald of Galactus. This isn't the Terex I was talking about. It's a 5-cost fist. 155, 266, 277. Some nice stats. When fielded, reroll target character die. I think I'd rather the Storm, not Storm, uncommon, which does the same thing, but for 1 less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or better.
Or
And-
potentially
better.
more, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Or
just
just-
so many. I mean, this could have been good in a previous life, but there's so many abilities that roll characters or remove characters in some way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make the grade, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same cost as Pip the Troll, who gives you guaranteed removal of 2 characters when you field him.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
just re-rolls 1 thing.
as a third or fourth pick in draft, I might do this.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
got
a bit
stats and some
lower.
removal.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Does anyone
potential
know why-
removal. Yeah.
Potential.
Why is Galactus spelt with a K?
Because it's cooler that way.
Yeah.
Except they
Thought there
missed
might be an
out because
actual reason.
there's no Z on the end. That'd be
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a canonical reason for this, but I don't know it.
I imagine
No.
so. Okay.
Me neither.
Well, please write
so-
in.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's
Peter-
a really
at the
old
end
school
of it.
Galactus.
Yeah.
It's
Peter
the old
Brinkston
English
made-
spelling.
No.
The
Brinkston
Maker,
made-
Dark
yeah.
Ultimates, a forecast math character with the villain affiliation. He has the Mr. Fantastic stats because it's the same die. And he
Yeah.
has Team Watch. Target character die gains deadly. Deadly. I prefer deadly as a defensive thing. So then it's not going to help with that at all.
No. Because it wouldn't be on your turn.
Yeah. So, yeah,
No.
I don't like it.
Better makers are coming.
Yeah.
They certainly are.
Next.
Yes. Okay, let's just go straight on to the Thing, or just Thing. He's called, isn't he? Yeah, James.
Thing, the Shield. 5 cost fist, fantastic 4 affiliation. While Thing is active, your opponent can't target your other character dice. You know, once upon a time, that was a super strong ability, wasn't it?
Mm.
With Raven and stuff.
And
yeah.
the ring of magnetism.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
can't target thing though.
Yeah, that's the problem with it.
Yeah.
It seems good on paper, and then you get to the table, you buy your 5 card, you're like, oh, it's very exciting, I got my thing out. You'll never do anything to me now, and then they just remove your thing and then do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a minor hurdle that they throw in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want this ability on a very cheap character so you can get, it out quickly. It's going to take some setup. By the time you've got this set up, it hasn't disrupted your opponent enough, probably.
Yeah.
No.
If it said while Thing is active, your opponent cannot target your character dice.
that would be
very, very strong.
whoppingly
would
strong,
be-
wouldn't it?
that-
Yeah.
That one word
Strong,
change would be
in
very strong. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to cost like 10 or something because it'd just be totally
Well,
overpowered.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can't even, with this, I mean, like, I wondered about, could you do the old Arctic breath trick, where you put a stun token on your own character to stop him being force attacked or whatever. But obviously you can still be re-rolled, or you can still be spun down
Yeah.
or any of that sort of thing, or KO'd, exactly. So it's not really, there's not really a great way of protecting him unless you can stop him from being targeted in some way.
I mean, we shouldn't really be so dismissive. It's not
No,
terrible.
that's pretty good.
It is good, but it's one of the things where I've been there before where you think this card, wow, it's unstoppable. And actually, no, it's quite easy to stop, actually.
Yeah.
They field Spider-Gwen and KO it. It's like, okay, now they have another 2 Spider-Gwens to come out.
Yeah.
It's quite nicely
right.
thematic.
But it's good,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
The
like
7
he's soaking up all the damage on behalf of other
beefy as well, yeah. 7/7 is, if you can get up to that level, that's decent.
Yeah. Okay, Ben, can you move us on to Thor of Higher Avalon?
I definitely can. This card is good.
Yes.
Fighting Dissidents. The thing would be actually quite good against this, to be fair.
Yeah.
While Thor of Higher Avalon is active, at the start of your opponent's attack step, deal 2 damage for each team affiliation in their field zone, divided any way you choose among their characters. Loads of stuff in this card, but basically, your opponent has a number of characters. They have, let's say, 2 affiliations. You can then do 4 damage across the field, however you want, divided any way you choose.
Yeah.
So that's take out 4 psychics if you want.
Yeah.
What if your opponent uses one of the 38 characters without an affiliation? Well, there's lots of ways to make affiliations.
Yes.
At least 2 off of 1 card with the Radicalization Global.
Yes.
And it's very difficult to have a team without any affiliations.
Yes.
So, easily 4 or 6 damage across the field. It's not quite as much damage as it could be, I suppose. But it's very annoying to play against and is a very strong form of targeted removal and can slow your opponent down massively.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Go on.
Attack step stuff.
Does this actually target?
Wow.
Yeah, I reckon it does.
Yeah, you might have done. Yeah, 'cause you have to choose the character, don't you?
Well, I mean yes, but
It's
there's
the same
no
as the
there's
thing.
no set distribution. There's no set number of characters.
Oh dear.
So I don't know.
It's very similar to Imprisoned. It's very similar to Imprisoned because you're choosing the characters, but does choosing them necessarily mean targeting them?
Surely it is.
They will rule it like that.
One for the rules forum.
Well, I mean, there's loads of stuff to rules forum on this stuff. Like,
I mean, going by their previous definition of targeting, it might not target.
yeah, but that was because of stupid Imprisoned.
What does the new rules book say about targeting?
Okay, so targeting. Rule 3.3.1 from the Dice Masters Comprehensive Rules, brackets 4th of the 11th, 2023, when an ability that affects a specific number greater than 0 of character dice requires you to choose at least 1 character die or explicitly uses the term target die / dice, it is a targeting ability.
So this is not.
It is.
What?
Well, because you're
I thought
choosing.
it was.
Yeah.
It affects
choosing
a
at least
specific
one
number
die.
of dice.
No, it doesn't affect the specific number of dice.
Well, it will do in the end, but yeah, I know
Once
what
you've
you mean.
chosen them.
It doesn't. It
A
doesn't say.
priori, it's not specific.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. An ability that has each player select a number of their own dice is not targeting. Okay.
That's not really.
Yeah, that's different.
No, there's stuff like Nightwing targeted.
Jesus.
Where you
I think-
divide
yeah, I
damage.
I bet you a euro. It's target. It's target.
It has to be done.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
there's
think you'd be
loads,
right.
understand what you're saying.
there's loads of rules for this thing because what's the start of the attack step?
Yeah.
I mean, like if you
Well, there would need to be an attack step, wouldn't there? So
Yeah.
there needs to be an attack step, so they need to go into an attack step. When do they
Force attack.
Yeah, or Monsieur Malor, which I like better
Yeah.
probably than the force attack because they can't really get rid of your Thor.
True.
Like just when they have to say, "I'm going into the attack step now," without like
Boom.
everyone just chooses what die they're going to attack with. I'll attack with this. Well, you can't do that anymore. You have to say,
It's dead.
I'm going to do it.
yeah.
Because, if the thing they want to attack with gets KO'd, they still have to attack with something.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, it does. You know, when you have a when attacks ability, would you be able to trigger that before this? No, I don't think so.
No, nor do I. Because it happens before the attack step,
Yeah.
but not after you said that there's going to be an attack step. So it's very,
But
is-
notwithstanding
it's
all
like-
those questions, this is still good, right?
it's very,
Oh,
it's
for
very
sure.
disruptive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a video in the pipeline in which Ben irritates the pants off.
Well,
him.
just being we said it loads of times, but when being able to KO your opponent's stuff on their turn is really strong.
Yes. No, that's
Because
right.
it gives you a whole turn with that thing in the prep
Gone.
arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it demands an answer. I mean, if you've got intimidate or something to get rid of bloody Thor, then it's probably not such a big deal. But I had nothing, and if you're unprepared for it, it sucks.
It's really
It's
brilliant,
not,
yeah.
though, I think, a win condition, which
No.
I thought at some point it could be. You can't clear a whole field with this. It's not. It doesn't do enough.
Doesn't do enough. No. No, that's
I mean,
true,
your
particularly
opponent
with
might
the
rage quit and then you win.
stats. Yeah. If that's the best you're hoping for, though, then you might want to try another team. Okay, well, he's really cool. Should we move on to Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter?
Yes, Rebellion in Manhattan, 3-cost bolt character with the Avengers affiliation, with the 133, 143, 254 stats, and when fielded, reroll target Thor core or bolt character die. That is weirdly specific.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. But it gets rid of Thor of High of Avalon, potentially, doesn't it?
Indeed. So there you have it. There's your answer.
There's your answer. Straight up. So thank you very much. I mean, he gives you a potential bit of removal, but he might do absolutely nothing at all if your opponent hasn't got any Thor core or bulk characters in the field.
Yeah, but then even if your opponent doesn't have either of those in the field, you would have to re-roll your own.
If you had one.
If you had one, which
and
he's
would.
a bulk character.
Yeah,
so
that's true for him.
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah, the gun is well and truly aimed at the foot, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't say opposing, so you would be forced to re-roll him if there's no other bolt character.
Oh, it's so terrible.
Yeah, that could be actually the worst. I mean, with those fielding costs as well.
Yeah,
that could easily be the worst card we've talked about this evening. So let's not waste any more time on him.
I'm just not going to field it.
Exactly.
Bloody hell.
Do I have to? Let's finish off, shall we, James, with Wolverine, please.
Wolverine, your play hero. I'm sure he doesn't say it like that. Sorry. He's a 4+ fist with the X-Men affiliation. When Wolverine KOs a character die, add it to owner's bag. Wow, I feel like there should be a "the" there somewhere.
Yes.
Add it to the owner's bag instead of sending it to the prep area. And he's got his lame stats. And he's got the prep global, which is not on a rare or super rare. So that's good.
Yes.
A fist once per turn. On your turn, prep a die from your bag. You know what? That's just a card for jerks like Ben, isn't it?
I was going to say, I really like this card.
You do.
Oh, what a good ability.
If you want to bring that global, that's not a bad card to bring it on. That's quite all right.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
I like Wolverine's stat. I really like it when the dice have the same fielding cost on every face. I know the stats aren't brilliant, but it just means you know what you're going to get with it.
Yeah.
True.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a very irritating ability. But I mean, he's obviously a 4 cost, so he's not a cheap character for those stats in today's environment. But sending stuff to your opponent's bag is
so good.
Yeah, and if they want to jump block with like sidekicks or something, they're putting them into their bag, so they'll probably not likely do that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it works both offensively and defensively. You probably throw it to your opponent, they're probably going to let it through.
Yeah.
Leave it on defensive.
And you've got 4 block as well.
Yeah.
On somewhere else.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Well, that is it for all the uncommons. We have got to the end of this particular list. We should, as tradition demands, each pick out a favourite. Who wants to go first this time? I won't jump in. I'll leave the floor to whoever wants to go first.
I'm going to say Spider-Gwen. That's the first one. Oh, but Magic was good too. But I'll say Spider-Gwen. Spider-Gwen was great.
James says Spider-Gwen. Peter?
I'll say Magic. Because I don't want to steal Thor from Ben.
I'm not going with Thor. I like that Thor, but I think that Wolverine has peaked I mean, the Thor is the one you want to build a team around and with, I think. Maybe the Agent brand. As a team building exercise, they're the kind of ones that speak to me. Maybe the Namor. I'm going with Wolverine, though. That's a fun card. Namor, Wolverine's a jerk, sorry. I like that. I like that.
That should be the
he identifies with Wolverine.
I identify that.
Yeah. I feel undecided. I mean, in terms of utility, I feel like Molecule Man's going to be quite widely used simply because of his global. Having that free to field global, I think is good. I do quite like the Jimmy Woo that combos with an action die and remove stuff. That's pretty cool too. But I think, do you know what I'm going to pick as a fave? I'm just going to pick the Franklin's Galactus, because simply if you can get him, KO a character or two with a Dark Phoenix global, and then get a 7 cost for 1, that's just fab.
What about God Emperor Doom?
Yeah,
there are quite a few good uncommons, aren't there?
Yeah, they really are.
Women's
Yeah.
Woman's decent as well.
And nobody mentioned
she
Namor.
is.
Nobody mentioned
Yeah.
Namor, who's really
I
good.
briefly did, but yeah.
There's
Yeah.
definitely a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Well, what's your particular favourite card in the uncommon set? Have you got one that we haven't mentioned or we've undervalued? What have we got right? What have we got wrong? And then do let us know by getting in touch using the contact details that we'll reveal at the end of the show. But with that, we'll move on to our next segment. Okay, well, since we have started our review and since Secret Wars emerged, not only has WizKids started pumping out rulings, I mean, more clarifications, I would say. I think we've probably mentioned the more significant ones just in the review that we've been doing today. But the big thing they've done is, as revealed on Facebook, I think just a day or two before we record this, is they have now published what is being called the Dice Masters Comprehensive Rulebook, a 44-page extravaganza of all the ins and outs of how to play Dice Masters. So if you're a budding tournament organizer, or even if actually you are a player who wants to know more about how to play Dice Masters, it's essential reading. And James,
I'm not sure I got that far.
James, I mean, you've been reading it, so we don't have to. Is that
I made it
the deal?
I made it through to page 5 so far. It's pretty heavy going. I am, quite a lot of respect to WizKids for, doing what they said they would do in a pretty timely manner. Well, albeit after 7 or so years, but they said they would do it, and they did it, and it looks pretty good. I think what it is a reference for tournament, whatever they're called, TOs, and if you need a ruling on something, this is going to be the first place to look.
Yes,
presumably it's a PDF, so you can search it. What it is not, I think, is essential reading for everybody who wants to play Dice Masters, because you'll never get through it. Bloody hell! No. Some dedicated people who might be suffering from insomnia will wade through it on your behalf, and I might be one of those people at some point, maybe. But it looks great. I can't really say more about it at the moment, but check it out. Yeah, do check it out. It's got lots of nice references, like 6.2.3.1. I like that.
Yeah.
And Peter had, I think, a great idea for it.
Yes, it would be great if there was like an online hot linkable version of this. So especially with rulings on the forum where they reference the rulings now, they could add a link and then go hyperlink straight to the actual rule in the book.
That'd be really good.
That would be cool.
Super good.
Yeah.
WizKids,
make it happen.
Yeah. Could somebody clever do that anyway? Link to a particular part of a PDF, or is that beyond the wit of man at the moment?
We
don't know.
Beyond the wit of me.
If the technology exists, we don't know about it, which perhaps isn't surprising. And Peter, actually, you didn't actually notice a little rule nugget, didn't you, when you were flicking through with regard to the kind of loss of virtual energy?
Yeah, I was just having a quick look at it, and something caught my eye about losing virtual energy. So it used to be when you had virtual energy due to back burn or having a partially spent action die, when you passed priority, you would lose that virtual energy. That was in the Avengers thingy rulebook, I think. Infinity, yeah, one of those. And they have now changed that to read that you lose that energy at the end of your main step.
Right.
So it's a minor change that's not going to affect a lot of things, but it
jumped out.
It jumped out. I was like, hey, that didn't work like that before.
Here's the thing. It's rule 1.4.5 for anybody.
Makes you wonder how many other little things might be in there.
Yeah, I might have to have a look at the whole thing.
I can't wait.
Well, James will be reporting back in the next episode, so look forward to to that. But the only thing that I found a little bit sad about this whole thing was the fact that they've linked it to a page that is on the WizKids website that says, how to play Dice Masters. And it says, in Dice Masters, 2 players take the role of masterminds directing the actions of a team of powerful supers. And it's got like some card information with the latest card types represented.
Looks nice.
And it looks
really
lovely.
good.
Yeah. But then there's a video there, which is the how to play video done by Rodney Smith, who is great and everybody loves Rodney. But it's like 10 years old and it's not the game we play now because rules have been superseded. They didn't even have the out of play thing then. They didn't have the first player draws 3 dice, all that kind of stuff. So it's really quite an outdated way to learn. There have definitely been people in the community that have come up with superior, updated and accurate how to play videos. So
are they as handsome as Rodney Smith?
Well,
Next sells. That's all I'm saying.
Clearly not. But there's no accounting for taste, I suppose, Ben. Good. All right. Well, so do check that out. That is on the WizKids website. And if you want to have a look, we'll put a link in the show notes. What else is going on AOB wise? Roll for the North 3 will have happened by the time this comes out, but it's after we have been recording because it hasn't happened yet. So unless we can hop into our DeLoreans and find out who has been the winner, we don't know.
Spoiler alert, it was not me.
Well, considering the 16 takes that it took for one of us to actually explain the format on the show last time, I don't think it is going to be any of us.
I came up with kind of a cool combo with it, but I'll talk about that next time.
I'm sure.
I'm going with Superman and unblockable shenanigans.
The rare maker may make an appearance.
I'm sure fun was had. Well, James, do you want to mention? Sorry, go on, Peter.
I don't have any Secret Wars cards yet, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure proxies are allowed. Don't worry.
They are, but some cards are unproxiable.
Don't forget the dice fight continues. James, do you want to flag that up?
Yes, I'm looking at the calendar and it says April the 27th. Will that be after? I think that will be after.
Yeah.
So that says life gain. And there's plenty of life gain to be had in Secret Wars.
There is, yeah.
And then May the 4th be with you is Legacy 35, believe it or not. Well,
now they've got a new
3 years of Legacy. Yeah, there's a new set.
There's a new set. Yeah, there's a new set. So Secret Wars, bring it on. So yes, that's Thursday night's online tournament, normally 3 rounds, 9 p.m. UK time. Do get involved by joining the Discord server, and it's a fun way of getting some midweek Dice Masters action. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for this particular edition. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe so you can be the first to know about a new episode when it drops. If you want to drop us a line, tell us about your favourite uncommon from this particular set or something that we've maybe missed. Or if you want to vent about the new Dice Masters comprehensive rulebook, what did you like? Have you found something in there that nobody else has spotted? Then do let us know. The best email address to use is, James?
hello@dmunited.eu.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.